to the All Metal Mode podcast with your host, Michael Hare. Tune in every Monday night, 8 p.m. Eastern with co-host Gypsy Jules, and every Tuesday night at 8 p.m. Eastern with Matt Hoffman as we talk to guests, discuss metal detectors, equipment, and everything treasure related. Feel free to join in the discussion in the chat room during the show, and please, if you like what you hear, we'd appreciate you taking a moment, hit that like button, and share the link with your friends. We hope you enjoy the show. The All Metal Mode podcast starts right now.
Hello, everybody. This is Mike here, and you're listening to the All Metal Mode podcast. Of course, tonight's co-host is Gypsy Jules. You can find us on Facebook at All Metal Mode as well as All Metal Mode Podcast UK. All Metal Mode is every Monday and Tuesday night at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and All Metal Mode UK is every Thursday at 8 p.m. GMT or 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you're interested in reading any of my reviews or metal detecting articles, you can find them at allmetalmode.com. There's a new free online magazine, metal detecting magazine. Dirt Digest magazine is now available. Check them out at dirtdigestmagazine.com. They just released a new issue yesterday or Saturday. I'm not sure. I think it was yesterday. Current issue, I haven't even looked through, but there is my review of the C-Scope C6MXI. If you know of any events, please let us know. We'd be glad to announce them on the podcast. If you enjoy the show, please help us spread the word to your friends. We can be found on Spreaker. You can play the show from Spreaker. You can download it and listen to it while you're on the go from Spreaker. You can also find us at iTunes, iHeartRadio, Spotify, YouTube, which is All Metal Mode, is how you find it on YouTube, and right off the website, allmetalmode.com. As soon as we launch a show, you can find it on allmetalmode.com as well. Tomorrow night, we will have Dorian Cook. He will be discussing Biblical Archaeology Part 2. If you missed Part 1, it was a really good show. Of course, Dorian's an awesome guest. So tonight, what we're going to do, if you've got questions on metal detecting, if you just want to call in and talk metal detecting, give us a call. We'd love to talk to you. The number is 682-459-2977, and we'll keep announcing it on the show. If you're new to the show or if you're not aware, you can also, once you start the show and you're listening to it, there should be a bar come up, and on that bar is like your pause and play button and stuff, and there should be a little bubble. If you click on that bubble, whether you're on your phone, your computer, or whatever, you can come into the live chat. If you'd rather ask questions that way, please feel free. And we're not experts, but we will try to answer any questions you might have. Hey, Gypsy, how's it going?
Going great. How are you on this hot Texas day?
I'm good. You saw I was sitting out at the pool hanging out and had to come in and do the podcast. Yeah. So let's hurry this up so I can go back to the pool. No, I'm just kidding.
Nice day for the pool.
Yeah, it is. It's hot here in Texas. I can feel already I got too much on my face. Too much sun.
Uh-oh. Got a sunburn?
George said, speak for yourself, Mike. So, hey, Gypsy, tell us all about this trip you just took.
Okay. So today I spent most of my day driving back from East Texas. My family live in East Texas in the Longview, Tyler area, if any of you are familiar with the Texas area. Anyway, I got invited to go to a hunt at an old plantation. in Henderson, Texas, with the Russ County Treasure Club. And anyway, it was a lot of fun. I got to meet a lot of great people, and it was a beautiful plantation house there with some beautiful grounds. And first portion of the hunt was a planted hunt. It was silver. First there was a warm-up hunt, and then the warm-up hunt just had like clad half dollars and dollar coins. And then the second hunt was this all silver hunt, and there was prizes and stuff. And so I was their guest, and the president of the club has a YouTube channel as well, and he did an interview there on the steps of the plantation that'll be coming out on his YouTube channel soon. And but anyway, by the time we finished up the silver hunt and everything, it was so hot I barely got to hunt around the plantation part that they had opened up down to the creek, and I only found really 2 finds, because I probably didn't hunt but about 20 minutes. By then we were all just dripping sweat. It was probably close to 90 degrees, so it was just so hot and not even a cloud in the sky. So I tried to detect closer to the trees, and I ended up getting no brooch, and that was about the only neat find I found from there. But there were some other things that were found on the grounds that weren't planted towards the backside and stuff. And there was actually a buffalo nickel found by a little girl using her Garrett Ace 400 on the ground.
That's cool.
So that was so neat. Cool. I got her on video, and some of it I videoed. I made a video, so that'll be coming out hopefully in a few weeks. I've got to catch up on editing, so I'm so behind. But then the day before, I got to go to, it was 5 different swimming holes, modern swimming holes at some lakes, and did some water hunting. And Michael and I, we had a ring challenge, and I'm not going to tell you who won that ring challenge. You'll have to watch the video. We'll post some links later. But overall, I had a great time. I got to do some digging yesterday at an old house that is not there anymore. But according to some of the finds dated back to the late 1800s, and then all the way up to, I would guess, maybe the late 20s. So there was no modern trash, so to speak, just up to the 20s. So not too old, but of course no colonial around here, but it was fun. I found some neat stuff.
That's great. I'm glad to hear. It's been way too hot to hunt around here. It's been like 90, it's sitting right around 90, and then we've been humid. Has it been humid down by you?
Oh, yes. And it was even more humid in East Texas because they had just gotten a lot of rain. So that on top of the heat, the humidity just kills you. I was just like I was soaking wet with sweat just dripping off of me while I was detecting and stuff. It's just so bad. That's why it's going to be mainly river hunting and creek hunting for me this summer until it starts cooling off again.
Yeah, I've been out in it a little bit last couple of days, and I thought it's about time for me to take all my batteries out of the detectors and stuff. It's getting too hot for me. I can't enjoy myself anymore when I get this hot. It's just, I just don't handle it like I used to.
Although, man, I tell you, what I miss is, I talked about this before, is if we plan our beach trip, is metal detecting at night on the beach. Oh, in the summer, It's just, oh my gosh, it's awesome.
Well, I meant to tell you today, and you had to get off the phone because you were driving and stuff. But I was going to tell you, let's wait till fall. But if you want to, Steph said in July sometime. Now, her birthday's the 10th. We couldn't do it right then. But if you want to go do some night hunts, I'm down. I never even gave that a thought. If you want to go hunt the beach at night, we can do that in July.
Oh, man, it's great. And there's hardly any people. And it's just perfect weather, and especially if we can hit a minus tide. Oh, man.
Yeah, I'm
awesome.
all for it. Steph's store's closing this month. She doesn't know when. And she can't the first couple weeks here of the month. This month just isn't even going to work. But if you want to schedule something in July, let's do it. Let's do it.
Okay, sounds good. I was reading some of the comments below, and Bill says, Gypsy, I need one of those microfiber neck cooling cloths. That would be nice. I was actually thinking about that this weekend. I needed something like that when I was out there. And then David says I need one of those big Mexican sombreros.
Hey, you know what? Why we're on this, and I want to tell the guys that are in chat talking about this too. I seen a post in Dorian's group, and there's a guy here in Texas that what he does, I don't know what they're called. I thought I took a picture of it because I was really interested. You know how over in the Middle East they like wrap those things around their head and
and
kind
of like a turban.
Yeah, but it's like net. It's not a turban. Like they like you'll just see their eyes. And he does one of those, and he says it cools him off a bunch. He'll put it in water, and then gets him a good half an hour, like being cool until he has to wet it down again. Yeah. This is a good conversation. Donnie's, or no, I'm sorry, I thought that was Donnie. Bill Marsh said wear a fishing vest and pack the pockets with ice gel packs. He said it's called a hijab. Hijab.
Hijab.
And then, yeah,
Learn
that's a
something
good
new every
idea.
day. I didn't know that.
Brian, Dirt Fishing, Texas, he said, I got one of those cooling face masks and a big hat.
That's cool.
Yeah. Bill said,
those big hat, it depends on what kind of hat it is and what kind of headphones, because I like wearing, my standard headphones when I hunt, so I just usually, use a ball cap, just like the little Garrett AT Pros or AT Max hats. But, yeah, something like that would be great. Maybe we just need to invent something new. Cooling hat. I don't know.
Right. Personal air conditioner system. That's what I need.
Yeah.
I'm a fat guy. It's this heat gets to me quick. Let me tell you. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I need to get one of those. I'm really not done for the year. It's just the heat. And so maybe I'll look into something.
It's going to get hotter.
I know.
It's going to get hotter.
I know. And it's already about miserable out.
And
George,
I can't get you into the lakes with the alligators or
snakes.
the rivers with the snakes.
You know what? Alligators. Sorry. Alligators don't worry me too much. Like I could do a place where I could do a lake where I knew there was an alligator. I'm okay with it. It's snakes. I'm telling you, I'll wrestle an alligator. Brian said
wrestling an alligator.
Brian said he can help me stay cool. He's got tons of tips. Yeah, I need those, Brian, because I'll tell you what, I just burn up. I get a little bit of sun on my forehead, and I go downhill quick. Like, I can handle it everywhere else, but it's my face, man. I get it on my face and my forehead, and it just wears me out.
Yeah.
Wow. Bill said, detect to the north of Mike. Gypsy. He can provide you your shade. Wow. Ouch. That hurt my feeling. That hurt my feeling a little bit. It's true. It is true. I'll give him that. That's a true statement. Jerk. I love our listeners. They're so nice to me. Just so nice. So I'm sure you haven't seen it yet, Gypsy, but the Dirt Digest magazine has a brand new magazine. This month's issue's out.
Yeah,
brand new issue.
I haven't had a chance to look at it yet, but I noticed it was out.
Yeah, and so I did something kind of unique. When I do reviews, of course, they're always my reviews, but I was wanting to go. We thought we were going to go to Ohio early spring, and in spring when the fields, relic hunting and stuff. And I got the 6MXI, which I was really hoping would be a good field detector. And I did get into some iron here in Texas and stuff, but it's not the same as a field, a farm field and all that. So I was really disappointed when we found out Steph was losing her job, and we decided we better not spend money right then and see what happens, which it's already played out, and it's good. Steph's got a new job, better job. So that's great. But so we didn't go back. So I got a hold of my good friend Donnie Lang. He field hunts a lot, and I sent it to him to play with, and it performed like I thought it would. And I'll tell you one of the things that I was hearing about the C-scopes in general was that concerned me a little bit, was that they're not real deep detectors. And I can tell you here in Texas, I was very impressed with it. I was very impressed with the depth. I was finding some deep stuff. But after talking to Donnie, oh, I apologize. After talking to Donnie, he found some deep stuff in the field. But it performed great. And we're going to call Donnie in here soon and put him on the spot and make him. But it was the first time I've ever done a review like that. But so I did it like me asking questions and his answers. I called him the other night and we did it. But you can also find that review, like I said, in dirtdigestmagazine.com. That just come out.
Cool.
Great magazine. I enjoy it a lot. I like to read because I like to write, I guess, and so I really enjoy it.
I can't wait to read it.
Yeah. Are you upset you're not on the cover this month now?
No.
Gypsy was on the cover.
I'm sure your day's coming. I'm sure your day's coming.
Nobody went. The problem is I'm so big that you can't get me on the cover of anything.
Oh, no.
Yeah, that's the issue. Like, people have asked me to be on cover before, and then they try to take pictures, and I'm like, we can't do it. Can't do it, fat guy. Just can't be done. Don't forget, if you guys have questions, anything pertaining to metal detecting, we'll try to answer any and all questions. You can call in 682-459-2977. Or, of course, if you want to jump in chat and ask questions, if you don't want to call in, please feel free to do that. If you're new to chat, whenever you look for the bar that has the play and the pause button and all that, and you should see a little chat bubble. It looks like a little cloud. Just click on that, and it'll bring you into the live chat going on. Yeah. Brian said I'd need to be a center for more
Bill.
room.
Yeah, Brian and Bill both said it.
Yeah. So, my article. I'm sorry, I messed up. I've got a review of the article in Dirt Digest magazine. It's just out, the newest issue. I wrote an article for the blog that's me interviewing Donnie and his time on the C-scope, the 6MXI. So that's I got confused in my head. So there's both of those articles you can read. I kind of got funny with the one I did on the blog interviewing Donnie. Hopefully it's worth the read. But yeah, Donnie gave me some really good information on it and stuff. And wait and see if there's any questions before we call him in. Yeah, Dirtfish in Texas. Brian, he said, what about a picture from a drone? That's a good idea. If anybody ever wants to.
That is a good idea.
Yeah.
Oh, man, this weekend, Michael, that I was detecting with, he used a drone out on the lake. Oh, man, I want a drone so bad now. I want one so bad.
Get a DJI.
For metal detecting
DJI
and for the videos.
Yeah.
Okay, man.
DJI is the way to go.
When I can afford it, I've got to sell some detectors before I can.
Yeah.
I got to save some pennies before I can buy one, but that's next on my list.
So.
And a kayak.
Everybody's talking about different ways to get me on the cover picture from a drone. And Bill said, open the magazine, the king-size bed sheet falls out. Funny stuff. Use a fisheye lens. The whole centerfold thing. If you guys want me in the magazine, you need to reach out to them. DirtDigestMagazine.com. And the only way I'm doing it is if I'm nude. That's the only way I'm doing it. If you guys want to see me nude in a centerfold of Dirt Digest magazine, I'll be holding a metal detector. It'll be sexy. And I need to get a hold of Mike and talk to him about that. See if we can do that. See if Mike's on board with that.
He was in the chat for a minute. So, okay, you'll be nude and you'll hold the detector up and they'll take the photo from your beard and up.
Oh, that ain't no fun. No, I want to be completely nude.
Oh, you want to be centerfold.
I want to have like my hands on the detector with the coil covering my bits and looking all sexy. Yeah, real men of detecting. Exactly, Bill. Dirt Digest magazine needs to run that. And I'll be the centerfold. Each week we have a centerfold, and I'll be the first centerfold. Maybe when I'm in Ohio, maybe me and Bill. Bill's a big dude. Him and I laying in bed together, snuggling the same detector. How hot would that be? Right? George Kinsey says, I hope I go blind soon. Me with my pointer finger on my cheek, looking all cute.
Oh, God.
One with my finger over my mouth, gasped open. Yeah. You know what's? Hold on. You know what's scary about this? There's somebody right now listening, going, "Ooh, I'd like to see that." Yeah, I guarantee there's some very weird person out there right now, like, picturing it in their mind, like, ooh, I'd like to see that fat guy, a bearded, hairy fat guy on a centerfold. Yeah. Bill said no spooning. I was thinking like face to face, like our noses touching, holding a detector between us. I think that'd be adorable.
Oh, man.
Oh, whoa, George, you took it too far, buddy. Whoa, I ain't even going to repeat that. I got issues, but I don't have those kind of issues. Don't have those kind of issues, George. Yeah. Just a little pouch on, holding a detector. How cool would that be? Yeah. Yeah. You know, right now there's somebody getting hot and bothered saying, "Tell me more."
Sounds more like a calendar.
Tell me more. Yeah. Keep going, Mike. Tell us more. Oh, I got issues. You want to?
Oh, gosh.
Flap and Flop agreed to a photo show. Oh, Lord, it's getting out of control now. What do you say? Right. What do you say we give Donnie a call and?
Sure. I want to hear more about this detector.
I apologize, everybody. I'm pretty much over the cold. I've just got a little cough going on and stuff, but sometimes it just hits me and I can't help myself and kind of comes on unexpected. So I wonder how many people, I bet people are driving Mike crazy, talking to him about they want to see that centerfold. I'll bet you. I bet he's getting hit up left and right.
Blowing up his phone right now, I bet.
Why won't this let me add him? What is going on?
Maybe have him call in.
Right.
Hey, Donnie, call in.
Yeah, come on, Don. He probably won't call. He's real apprehensive to call in. I don't know why it won't let me. Yeah, Donnie, give us a call if you can. Call in.
Mike says his email's going crazy now.
Right. Please get Mike in a centerfold nude holding a metal detector. Oh my God. Me with a pouch on, bent over, digging. Leaning on my detector all seductively? Seriously. How huge would that be? Mike, I've got gold here for you, buddy. You better jump on it before somebody else asks me to be the centerfold in their magazine. I'm just saying.
We're waiting for you, Donnie.
Donnie, the call-in is 682-459-2977. Call in now, jerk.
What is it, 682?
It is
682
682-459-2977. Mm-hmm. Yup. Me laying in a bed of coins and relics. How hot would that be? Right? Mm-hmm. I'm telling you, Mike, I'm giving you gold, buddy. Giving you gold. You better jump on it before somebody else finds out my idea and asks me to be on the cover of their or be the centerfold of their magazine. Hey, Donnie, how you doing?
Yep.
Yep, he
Hi,
said
Donnie.
yeah.
Hello.
Oh,
I thought you were going to call me.
I tried. I couldn't get you in for some reason that I don't know. My bad. I should have added you before the show. So Donnie, be honest here. If they did a magazine with me in the centerfold nude, you'd be interested, right?
Meatloaf said it best.
What's that?
I said, I'll do anything for love, but I won't do that.
Right? Come on. Like, even just out of curiosity, you know how many people would look at that? Just like, oh, God, I don't want to do this, but I got to see Mike naked laying in bed with his metal detector.
Yep.
I could take a waterproof detector and there could be a shower shoot. Uh-huh.
Oh, my.
Some digging for me at the nude beach, metal detecting. Yeah. Good times. Okay, so again, for those, if anybody tuned in late or anything, so I didn't get to go to Ohio like I wanted. I wanted to see how the C-scope would do in the fields of Ohio relic hunting. So I sent it to Donnie. Donnie tried it out. You can find the article at allmetalmode.com. If you go there, you'll see the top articles. Click on articles. And you can read the full article. But so what'd you think about it, Donnie?
I thought it was great.
I thought it was great.
Found a lot of good stuff. it made things a lot easier, believe it or not. Not only, did it find things, it found things easily. And I did find some deep stuff. Not having to listen to all that iron real loud, being able to adjust that and just hear the good tones. They seemed to just, it was just amplified. You didn't have to listen quite as hard. Even small targets, even really small targets, it picked them up really good. Loved it.
Awesome.
Probably the thing I liked the most about it was it's comfortable. Especially after I mounted the box on my vest, it made it like, it was like holding a stick in your hand. I bought that AT Pro and that big storm coil and used that for a while, and man, it's rough on you swinging that thing all day.
Right.
But
gets heavy with that big coil.
Yeah, it is.
Well,
it's real heavy.
And when you're in fields, it's, a lot of people that haven't field hunted don't understand, rarely are the fields flat. They've a lot of times they've still got rows. They still have corn stalks and bean stubble, and each time you hit those, it's like being in really tall grass trying to push your detector down and swing it. It'll wear you out. It just wears you out. It's a lot. So the lighter you can get, the better. Matt, that co-hosts with us Tuesday night, don't get me wrong, he likes the detector, the ORX. But the biggest reason he's been using that so much field hunting is because it's so lightweight. And it really makes a difference when you're in a field. Weight really counts in the field. Very much so. Now, you and I have both modified that detector. I put a piece of Tydex, I think is what they call it, on the back as like a little stand, because although it's super heavy housing and everything else, I didn't like that the stand or that the housing set right on the ground. So I made a stand. I didn't make it tall enough. I wish I'll redo it another time. But then you came up.
Get it back.
If I get it back, right. That's gonna be me, like, come back. Come on, Donnie, please. I'm here in Ohio. Please, can I borrow my detector, please? But you did a really cool modification to it. Tell us about that.
Well, I was dealing with the whole thing of using heavy detectors and detecting all day long and getting fatigued. And before I took the box off of it, I came up with the idea to put, and it sounds kind of goofy, but I went to the dollar store and bought a spatula. And I cut a teardrop shape out of the spatula and cut the bottom of it off, and to where I could screw that to the top of the handle, the grip. And that piece of spatula comes over the back of your hand and helps support, you don't have to grip so much. You can actually open your hand and that thing will rest on the back of your hand. So I did that and that helped, but then I took the box off and it was feather light. So there was like absolutely no fatigue at all. I'd swing it all day long without a problem. Mm-hmm. So I thought it was great.
Yeah. Now, for those listening who haven't heard of the 6MXI, it's a straight shaft detector. The housing mounts underneath the arm cuff. It clips in, a real neat clip system. It clips right out, extra long cord, and you can mount it to yourself. So it's just a handle. Now, here's something really cool that I like, that Donnie liked. The handle, not only is it adjustable up and down the shaft, it's also adjustable side to side. And the review, I talk about it in a review that just come out in Dirt Digest magazine, is the first time I went out, I had the handle in line with the arm cuff straight with it. And out detecting a little bit, I needed to move it a little bit. And what I did is I just got it to where it was comfortable and then went back to detecting. Well, when I got home, I noticed if I looked down the back, the shaft from the back, from the arm cuff, it was slightly at an angle. The handle was slightly off an angle from the arm cuff. And if you think about it, all of our detectors we use, the handle is in line with the arm cuff. Your arm has to be locked solid straight out. Do that. I started playing with this. Hold your arm straight out with your elbow locked. And tell me you don't feel a little bit in your elbow. Now just take your hand and turn it just a little bit. Couple degrees, and tell me you can't feel a difference. I can. I don't know about everybody else, but I can definitely feel a difference. And you can cock that handle side to side. So not only can you remove the housing, it's a good straight shaft design, you can move that handle. And so what Donnie did is at the top of the handle, he cut his spatula and made that to where his hand, now he doesn't have to grip and hold the detector there. It rests on his hand, on his thumb and his pointer finger, index finger.
Yeah, well, it lays right across the back of your hand, like goes down over the back of your hand. The curve in the end of the spatula, the part that you use, not the handle end, but the other end that's bent. It lays right across the back of your hand, and it's, according to how big your hand is how big you would cut that. Teardrop shape out of the handle or out of the spatula.
Right.
So, and then when I cocked that handle a little bit more to the left on the shaft, it was really super comfortable and helped me keep my coil flat to the ground. It was awesome.
That's good. Good deal. Yeah. We were. I don't know if you were listening at the beginning of the show, but I was talking about how, I had some guys over in the UK tell me it wasn't a very deep detector. It wasn't like real deep. Like I said, I was impressed with the depth. I mean, it was hitting stuff as deep as anything else I have. What was your experience with that?
I found some really deep stuff and a lot of super small targets. And I think actually one of them might have been one of the lead coverings for a nail, maybe.
Huh.
And it was pretty deep. And that was the first one of those I've found. So, if that tells you anything, I've used, a few machines, but never picked one of those out. But in fact, it was kind of strange pinpointing it with my pinpointer because it was so small. With the smaller targets, you're expecting to see something a little bit bigger, usually. So that really didn't seem like a problem.
What's the standard coil on that? What that comes with that when you purchase it?
I believe it's an 11-inch double D.
Okay.
I believe it's 11-inch. George made a point, and I'm glad he brought that up because I want to make that clear. Especially if you're somebody who's read some of my reviews and stuff. When I'm here in Texas, where I'm at in Texas, the ground is pretty mild. In Ohio, where Donnie's at and where I used to be in Detective Fields, the ground is pretty mild. It's not mineralized. So unless specified, I don't know how any detector works in mineralized ground. I can say this. The 6MXI has, it's got auto ground balance, but you can also adjust. I just didn't find any place where I needed to adjust it. It worked fine in auto. I didn't mess with it, but it does have, you can adjust that to what you need if you run into problems. How it does in mineralized soil, I don't know. But I mean, most detectors don't work good in mineralized soil. I mean, that's why Culpeper, they're using PI detectors, and most detectors in mineralized soil are affected. I don't know. I know George does. I can guarantee if anybody knows the best detectors for mineralized soil, George would. But I don't know. I've never been in mineralized soil. It's never been an issue for me. So neither one of us can speak on how the 6MXI does in mineralized soil. But yeah, it really performed like I thought. Like you dug very little iron with it.
Right. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, it got fooled a couple times.
Yeah.
But not very many. Usually when I got a good signal, it was just that, a good signal, And I think that was one of the things that made it a little more difficult in a regular yard or a park or something, was because it did pick all that out. I think that, if you was to hunt a real trashy park, I think it would drive you crazy. I think you would have every single pull tab in the park by the time you were done, because I don't think it would miss anything like that.
Yeah. Well, you
I think that's one of the things that makes it so good out in the field. You get a non-ferrous target and it's on it.
Yeah, I believe it's running 18 kilohertz. It's running pretty. It's got some pretty good sensitivity to it on small targets at 18 kilohertz. So that would make sense. I think, I ran into the park a little bit. So to the listeners, Donnie and I were talking, and he took it to a house?
Yeah. It's one of the older houses.
He was struggling with a lot of junk and pull tabs and stuff like that. I think, George made another great point I wanted to bring up. But I think he had it set up wrong. If you put the disc to 10, it'll still pick up a zinc penny, but that's about the cutoff. And 10's all the way over. So I hunted with it in a park, and I was pulling out just coins with it and stuff. I mean, yeah, I wouldn't, I've always said this, and this is just me. I know guys who are capable of it. I don't take a detector that doesn't have a VDI and go try to hunt a park with modern trash. For me, it's I really like simplicity in the fields, and I like analog detectors. Personally, just me, I've always done better in the fields with analog detectors. There's no lag. They get through better. I can tell you here in Texas, I was really impressed with how it handled. I mean, the iron, and you've got iron volume on it, which I love. That's a feature I won't do without on any detector anymore. If it doesn't have iron volume, I'm not interested. I want to still hear the iron, but there's no need to hear it full blast. I mean, heck, the F22 has iron volume. The Deep Tech, that some of their detectors, I know this new X has iron volume. So it's the Cisco, the 6MXI is a 3-tone detector. You can turn the iron volume down. You can also turn the volume down on the disc, which was nice. So when I was hunting with it, for the most part, like where I was hunting for relics, I had my iron just to where I could hear it. I had my disc set at, I think, 5 or 6, and then I had the volume for the disc side turned to 5, so I could hear it, but I didn't want to hear it as loud as the coins. And so the coins really stood out to me, and it did. So Donnie tried at a house, was digging everything. I suspect he mistakenly had it set up. He probably hit a knob and didn't realize it. I think he had his disc turned down or something. George made a really good point. Here's a good point to think about. when you're looking for a detector. Here's one of the things that I think is what makes the detectors overseas so hot. The stuff being made over in the UK, Bulgaria, Russia. George said they're made to hunt small hammered coins. That's true. Their hammered coins are small. And most of the detectors you get out of Europe are made for that exactly, to find those little things. So when we're relic hunting in the fields, we hit all those little targets that I think a lot of detectors will miss. And I think, every detector is fooled by iron. I don't care. I don't care what detector you're talking about. If there's one out there that will never get fooled by iron, I'd love to hear George say what it is, but you're going to dig some iron. But Donnie and I had the same experience. I didn't dig any iron. The only iron I dug, which here's a weird thing. Besides my 3 tones, I got a real weird tone. I don't know how, it was almost like it was warbly. Like a warbly, like I am horrible with trying to make sounds for metal detectors, but it was clearly different than the 3 tones. I had to dig it. It was a big piece of iron. That's the only iron I dug. So I was really excited. I thought Donnie might hear those sounds on big iron. He never heard it. Why that happened that one time, it wasn't an overload, and it ended up being a deep piece of iron. And when I say big, I mean, smaller than my hand, my palm of my hand, smaller than my palm of my hand, and it was deeper. So it wasn't an overload signal. I don't know what it was. So I really thought when Donnie got it, he would be hearing that, and he didn't. He never heard that, but dug very little iron, correct?
Yeah.
Awesome.
I dug a few things, but not like I had been digging. Not even close.
Yeah. Good deal. Yeah, I really like it. I like that it's got the iron volume. I've heard there's already reports coming out on the Vista X, Deep Tech Vista X, and man, you talk about looking promising as a relic detector. But I guess the circuitry on that was designed for the U.S. market to deal with stuff like pull tabs and stuff. So that's pretty, because a lot of those detectors over in Europe, they're not set up like the American detectors. And you will find that kind of stuff, but when you're relic hunting, you don't care. But
let's not forget to mention the lead situation.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
Because I was really that really stood out. The way it picked up lead, it was like you couldn't miss it. It was weird, but yeah, I mean it locked onto lead better than it would a good coin, or a big button. And it was really weird, but yeah, I don't think you'd have a problem finding lead with that at all. Even small lead, like I said, I found that small piece that would have. I do believe it was one of the coverings of a nail head. And yeah, no problem whatsoever. I mean, they were screamers, every piece of lead I found. So.
Very cool. Anything else?
Not that I can think of right offhand. I mean, it was just a good experience. No real problems at all as far as field hunting, relic hunting.
Right.
I thought it was great.
Good.
And I really didn't want to send it back.
Yeah, yeah, we'll talk about it, man. Well, you know what? I'll tell you right now, so you don't have to, I'm just going to leave it there. You hunt with it. Someday I might need it back or something, or want it back, or I might come to Ohio and tell you got to use something else because I'm using that. But I'll just leave it with you, buddy. You'll get good use out of it.
Whatever works. I won't have a problem sending it back.
I know you don't. I appreciate that. You'll get more use out of it while I'm in Texas.
Right.
You'll get more use out of me. Hey, Donnie, I appreciate you calling in and talking to us about that.
No problem.
All right, man. We'll talk to you later.
All right. See you guys later.
Talk to you later. Bye.
Bye.
So there you have it. Yeah, it's a fun detector. A lot of fun. I figure I'll just leave it back there for Donnie. He'll get more use out of it. Yeah, the number is, George asked what the number is. I'll give it out again if anybody wants to call in. If you got questions, any detectors, metal detecting, we'll do our best to answer them. The number is 682-459-2977. Again, if you don't want to pop into if you don't want to call us, you can pop into chat. Wherever you see your play button and all that, you should see a little chat bubble. Click on that. You can come into chat and you can ask questions. Yeah, it's a fun detector for sure. I'm just a huge fan, and I actually had somebody on the UK show talking about the 6MXI, and they we're getting a call in real quick. Hold on real quick, Wayne, and that detector shockingly is a digital detector. And it really surprised me because I've always liked, analog detectors relic hunting. And I was really surprised to find out it's processing it digitally, which, it's so fast in the iron. It works so good in the iron. How you doing, Wayne?
I'm doing super fantastic like always.
Oh, good to hear. Good to hear.
Yeah.
Nice to hear your voice.
Yeah, it's been a while. I've just been so busy. So getting ready for the hunt. I picked up the gold coins today that I ordered, and I picked up a bunch of orders for prizes, metal detectors, and all kinds of other stuff today. So it's going to be a good hunt. So if you guys want to come on out, I know Gypsy's given out the information several times, but get on it, and in the upper right-hand corner, write all metal mode so that we know they came from you. And it's $217 per person. We have gold coins, gold nuggets, all kinds of prizes. There's going to be a token in the field worth $1,000 in cash and prizes.
Wow.
One of those tokens.
Wow.
We want to give it away to bring any of this stuff home. So
nice.
Get a 3-year membership for the cost of the hunt. So if you're not a member, you don't have to buy a membership at an additional $5. We're going to give it to you if you sign before June 8th, I believe it is.
June 8th?
June 7th.
Okay, good deal. I've been announcing it at the beginning of all the show. I quit announcing it because I thought it was done as far as the sign up, but I've been doing it on every show, beginning of the show.
Yeah, awesome. We appreciate that.
Oh, no problem.
It's going to be a good hunt. We're going to be going gold prospecting on Friday, and depending on the water levels, right now I think the dam broke at Willy Wonka's chocolate factory in town, because the water looks like chocolate coming down. The snow melt is so horrific here.
Ooh.
So if the water goes down, I will bring a 4 dredge out there and let everybody get some time on a nozzle and learn how to use a dredge. And we're going to have high bankers out there, sluice boxes, all kinds of equipment that everybody could use. It's going to be an awesome time. And then Saturday we got our gold nugget and gold coin hunt. It's a 2-hour hunt. And then I believe it's Saturday night we have our night hunt, lights out, no lights allowed. Saturday afternoon, I believe I scheduled a Speedo hunt. So bring a roll or two of quarters. And on Sunday is the 4-door hunt. There's going to be keys hidden on the property. If you think you have a key that's going to open up the door, You open it up and you're going to win that prize behind it. We got some awesome prizes again this
Yeah,
year.
that sounds like a lot of fun. Wayne, thank you for catching us up on that and letting everybody know. If you want to attend the hunt, how do they get a hold of you? Do they go to the website?
Just go to the website, fill out the paperwork in the upper right-hand corner, write all metal mode, so we could give you guys credit for it. And that's all they got to do. Send in their registration.
Now he tells us, Gypsy. Now he tells us.
What do you mean I tell you?
I said, now you tell us that. Yeah, we've been telling people every show about it. Mancos, Colorado, and it's wwats.org, correct?
Correct.
Good
Yeah.
deal.
It's right on the front page. You just open it up, print it out, and go for it, and get in the hunt because, gold coins aren't cheap. Pick those up, like I said. I bought a bunch of gold nuggets, so it depends on how many people are there is how many gold nuggets go out, but we're going to have quite a few gold nuggets and quite a few gold coins. So
awesome. Wayne, we've got another call waiting. Thank you for updating us on that.
Awesome. Thanks, and I'll be listening to the show. I haven't typed in, but I've been listening.
All right. We appreciate it, Wayne. Thank you, sir.
To give everybody the bad news, James lost tonight on Jeopardy. I'm pretty bummed. He was at just about $250,000. So,
that's funny. All right. Thanks, Wayne. We'll talk to you later.
God bless everybody. Thanks.
Good night. I like
Night,
old
Wayne.
Wayne. Hey, George, how you doing?
Hey, will there be any parrots given away at the hunt?
Any parrots?
Or parakeets?
Mm.
You didn't hear the background noise?
Oh, I got you. Yeah, I heard the birds. You have me so. You know what? You talk in code sometimes when it's. You got to remember you're talking to a big dummy here, George. You talk in code when you're talking to a big dummy.
Oh, I was talking code.
How you been, George?
I told you. We've had a rough week. We were rear-ended by a Toyota Tundra. We were sitting still, and he hit us at 50 miles an hour. And I was in the back seat, so I caught it all. But other than that, I've been okay.
No.
How you feel?
I'm sore.
I bet. How's your? Well, I mean, I wouldn't want to speak. I wouldn't want to say anything that would, privacy and stuff. But I believe you told us on the show that your wife had surgery. Is she okay? And
yeah, she was driving, and I was sitting in the back. She was with her sister, and they always say I never want to do anything with them. So I decided to go to lunch.
Oh man.
And we got whacked, but it's all right. I'll be okay.
Hey, I'm glad to hear you and your wife.
I wanted to tell you about, you were talking about C-scopes that are made in England and the deep techs made in Bulgaria. Mm-hmm. And the reason the deep techs do better in the bad ground is they're tested in bad ground. The soil in Bulgaria is awful. And you can take a cow magnet and run through it, and it'll stick to the magnet. So when they develop their detectors in Bulgaria, they're making them to work in bad ground.
I gotcha.
And the ones in England, it's most of the soil there is mild. Mm-hmm. So when I usually use the deep tech if I go to the mineralized soil. It's real deep and it's very stable and it's very quiet. And they're all made over there just about only with minimum discrimination so they don't miss their hammered coins. Mm-hmm. Deep tech's coming out with the X, but I just, I love them, but it's not going to be for the American coin hunter. No. It's a beautiful relic machine because it's going to be like a Tejon with tone ID.
Right.
Where they missed the boat is they don't have 3 tones. And, 3 tones, they're going to have a concentric coil. And, they had old dual discrimination. Hell, that's been out a long time. The old The 1260 series, Fisher's had it.
Right.
There's been a couple of, I think a Garrett had it at one time.
The Teon's got.
Yeah, but the Teon never had a dual tone.
No, it did not.
And
you're correct.
And that's what why this is going to be really good for a relic hunter. Plus, I mean, you have expanded discrimination, but you look at the newer crowd; they're always going to be drawn to the digital, screen, and they people who are starting out want a screen. That's all they know. These peep and diggers, they're for people really who've been out there a long time and are used to digging by sound only. And, with the iron volume and the two-tone, I'd be happy with it. But I don't think, just like, Nocta Macro struggling here in America, I just think that they're just going to appeal to the relic hunter. If you got a beep and dig coin hunter that likes that, that's fine. But it's a relic machine, in my opinion.
In my opinion, for me personally, if it doesn't have a digital readout, I'm not interested in it for, heavy trash places, modern trash. But give me that detector. Give me the analog detector, concentric coil, because I'm not in mineralized soil like you, and that's right up my alley. That's my dream, with iron volume. And I'm happy. That detector should be everything I'd ever want in a detector for relic hunting.
Yeah, now they've announced they do have a United States service center now.
Oh, nice.
That's something they never had before. So you get one, you'll be able to get them fixed here in America.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, that was just, I just found out about that. But I don't have one yet. I'm hoping to get one here to play around with. But time will tell with it. I mean, I know it'll work well for what we do. I just think without a third tone, I mean, even if you didn't have a target meter, if you had three tones, that may make it a little more interesting to the general public. And, made for America, but made for the American relic hunter, in my opinion.
Yeah. I think it's a hard sell anymore, like you said, if it doesn't have a digital readout. It's a really hard sell here in the United States. There's still some guys who do it and are very successful with detectors without a readout. But, again, myself, I think I just don't want to go to a place with a lot of modern trash without that VDI. It helps. It does help. Although I think too many people rely on numbers instead of the tone and the sound, I do think it is a huge help when you're wading through a bunch of modern trash. So
it's an extra feature, but it's just it's gonna have to fit the hunter. It's not going to have a general appeal to the masses.
Right.
So and everybody hated them because they were ugly. And like Aaron said, that big box never bothered him, but it sure as hell bothered a lot of people. Just looking at it, you didn't really want it. Now that they've slimmed it down and made it attractive, they'll pick up some more sales with it.
Yeah.
But once again, it's not going to take a place of an Equinox or a Deus. I mean, that's all people want in the world now. They don't seem to want anything but those two machines. And an interesting story, a good friend of mine, he has two Equinoxes that he got when they first came out. And both of them had to go back to the shop the same week for water getting inside the controls, inside the the meter. And he hunts every day. He never dives, but he does wade in the river. And he had two go out at one time.
Yeah, I've heard.
And we're about a year. Yeah, we're about a year down the road now, and this is the time we're going to see how well they're going to stand up.
Well, they've already had tons of issues. I mean, I've heard very few complaints about the electronics, but the shaft wobble, the arm cuffs break, and the coil mounts break, and all of that. I think it's, the more people put on them, I think the more we're going to see. And I don't know. I could go on and on about that, but I should really stop myself.
No, it's okay. I mean, it happens with, actually, it will happen with any metal detector, but, I still like the older machines. I pulled out I'll post a picture of it. I pulled out my Discovery Gold Trax Baron from 1994 the other day, and that's relics real well. It's it doesn't really have a digital meter on it, but you have the iron tone. You can set it to a 2-tone setting. But what it does do, which is incredible, is when you set the disc, you can make iron double tone all the time. You won't even hear the small iron; it eliminates it. But anything big, double tones, and everything else, it has a little diode light. It'll light up red when you go over it, and then anything else will give you a different tone, a higher pitch.
Yeah,
and I have two of them, two different. They were modular machines where you could change the module. You could take the faceplate off and insert different modules in and just plug a ribbon in, and you have a totally different machine.
Really? How interesting is that? Like what would that change in the ribbon do?
Well, it would just allow you to load the module in, so you never had to buy a new detector. And they would come out with different modules.
Oh, I got you.
George Payne.
Updates.
Yeah, George Payne. Yeah.
Ooh,
George Payne of Technetics. He went to work for Discovery before he got out of and went into private business doing something else. He's the one that invented that. And there's a Pro Hunter, a Deep Hunter. There's a NICAD module. There's a module you can use on a saltwater beach.
Oh, my goodness.
Then they have the coin tracks. Yeah. And you just plug it in, get a base bearing, and go from there.
Wow. Are they fair?
Well, you won't find them anymore.
Right.
They're rare to find, and the modules are real hard to find. But a module back in the day cost you about $150, and you never had to buy a new detector.
Wow.
And that works just as good as anything today. They're real deep. They have real good depth.
Really? Yeah. I'm always telling people that, George. I just had a conversation with a guy recently about, we kind of had the conversation. He thinks it's all in technologies where we're going, and, to find better targets and stuff, it's technology. And I disagreed with him. And I gave the example that coin shooting and normal soil, I would still take a MineLab Explorer XS, which come out in like 1999, and I would put that up against any of the most current detectors, known coin hunters, and I feel confident the XS would not only keep up, would beat most of what's out there. And
I knew a guy named Mike Moultrie. Mm-hmm. He was like the guru for the Explorer. He lived in Baltimore at the time. I mean, he just loaded up on all the old silver coins from the Baltimore parks. Mm-hmm. I always liked the sound of the Explorer. Mm-hmm. I mean, the tones were very pleasing. The only problem I had with it was slow in recovery.
Yes, it's a slow swinging detector.
Yeah, but you could get a little wiggle going with your wrist, and you could bring out a silver coin sound pretty easily with it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Mm-hmm. So, and there's, like I tell people, and it's true, I've hurt people's feelings taking a analog detector relic hunting, and whether they've got a Deus or a MineLab or whatever, and, it's funny to me. People will get upset because you do better with them with this clunky looking old looking detector. And
you just do this. Give him a hanky.
Give him a hanky, he says. Yeah.
Give him a hanky.
And And there's nothing wrong with the Deus. There's nothing wrong with the Mind Labs. I'm not trying to say, this clunky old detector's any better, but I find that they're better in the iron, especially. And you can, even the Tesoros, I mean, let's be honest, I mean, the concept that went into the Tesoros is very, very old technology. But
that's old school Jack Gifford engineering, man.
Yes, very
Jack
old.
Gifford.
I mean, they come out with a new name and a couple different features than another one, but it's all the same simple stuff. I mean, I like the detectors with the iron volume now. I don't want to use a Tesoro so much, but I could still take the Mojave and go out there in a field and heavy iron and clean house up against these guys with these much more expensive digital high-tech detectors, and they don't like that some of the people don't like that, some
Too
of them
bad.
Yeah, exactly. What else you been up to,
What you
George?
get when you did. Our company is expanding, and we hired 7 new technicians, and one of my functions is to train these guys on how to, read and interpret engineering blueprints and actually find the buried pipes and cables in the city of Richmond.
Oh,
cool.
We have a contract, and this is what I've been doing for almost 35 years. So I've just been training new guys. I've still got 2 just about ready to go out on their own, but keeps me real busy.
I bet.
So I really haven't been out at all. I've just been sold a couple of detectors that I had, and I still got too many. So
yeah, right.
We got to get rid of some more. We'll have to have another contest soon.
You can never have too many.
Well, I got, So you want me to put her on the phone?
Oh, no, I don't know.
Hey, Terry.
No.
We don't want that.
No, don't get me in trouble, George. Don't get me in trouble.
You already.
George, how many do you have? Detectors.
I think there's 29 in there now.
Wow.
29.
Gypsy,
Wow.
he sent me a detector Tesoro.
The Golden Saber.
The Golden Saber.
The original one.
And that thing is beautiful. Like, I have to take it out because I can't just leave it hang. But I've went to grab it a couple times, and I'm just like, it's too pretty. I don't think there's a scratch.
No, it's a notch.
What's that?
You can notch up pull tabs with that and find gold rings.
Really?
That's what was good about it. The Golden Saber 2, which had a 2-tone on it. You had an actual 2-tone machine. That one doesn't, but that's the original one. It's one of the very first sabers they came out with.
It is beautiful.
They had the Royal Saber, had the Eldorado, and the Golden Saber, all in that format, that way that box is set up.
Hey,
believe it or not, the old Eldorado with the double D coil actually worked out in Appomattox and out in the bad ground, man.
Really?
The original Eldorado did really good when we first got them. We took them out in Appomattox. That's an area of very bad iron red clay too, and it did well.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Hey,
but I've still got a lot of new machines sitting around.
Hey, be truthful. Be truthful here.
Yeah.
Are you trying to get rid of some of these detectors so you can buy more?
No. There's no way to get them in the pipeline now.
Hey, you were. Sorry about that. Hey, you were talking about a company. I forget who it was that you were going to buy their PI detector. Did you ever get that and try that out?
By a company's PI, I use a Thracian PI, which is it's not as powerful as a Mind Lab, but it works just fine. I mean, it'll discriminate with a double D coil. One of the things people don't realize about these coils, they have to be on some PIs, you have to first have your ground balance to get your tones, the two tones you'll hear. But you have to use a double D coil to have that happen. I've got a Super Detector 2200 I picked up and reconditioned everything. It looks brand new. And if you use the mono coil on it, you can't use the discrimination feature. And this was put out before the GP series came onto the scenes. And I can go out anywhere and I won't get the depth of a GPX, but I can certainly get the two tones that you need when you go hunting, a high and a low tone, and you get stuttering on some of the iron targets. So you got rudimentary discrimination. It's sitting over the corner. Yeah, I picked up a very nice the MindLab Excalibur 2 with a 10-inch coil. I reconditioned it. It has new knobs and a new straight shaft. It's sitting over there on the wall. Never going to get used, probably.
He said probably. Still not going to get used. Huh. Yeah.
Maybe Mike, maybe Mike, we need to send my Explorer SE to
See
him.
if he can fix it.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Man, that thing is heavy. You keep that, Gypsy.
Oh, it's heavy. It is heavy. I was going to give it to Mike, but it needs a little. I went to go fire it up one day, and it's something's wrong with it. So.
Yeah, and unfortunately, but they'll still fix that model, the Explorer. They won't fix the original Explorer, but they still have parts for the Explorer 2 on up. So if you get an Explorer 2, you still got a chance to get it repaired by MindLab.
Yeah, I don't want to know how much it costs.
Models you can't. I don't know.
Yeah.
I just have that one now. I don't have any other ones.
MindLab used to be really expensive to get repairs done. I'd hate to send it in. I don't know if I got
a lot of interesting new ones coming or already here. Quest makes I think it's an X5. It's kind of beating the Simplex to the starting gate. It's a completely waterproof submersible metal detector. It's
really?
a couple of $100, maybe $280, $290. It's Quest, and then of course the Simplex is coming, which we'll see. I mean, if with all those features and being waterproof, it's still not an American detector. We still haven't. It's going to take them so long to catch up with everyone. And it costs them a lot of money just to advertise this. And
are you talking Nocta Macro?
Yeah, I mean they make great metal detectors, but you want to buy a Nocta Macro? Trust me, now when I tell you this, go on eBay and buy one used for half price. That's never been used.
Right.
Because they're only going to fetch 50% of what you originally paid for them. I mean, I've seen the Amphibios sitting on there and nobody buys them, and they're starting prices like $400 used. It's damn near brand new.
Wow.
But they're great detectors. But I guess one of the beauties of having forums and things is, you can actually communicate with people who do use them, and you try them and you find out they're pretty good. But you better be planning on keeping them because you're not going to get any of your money back when you try to sell them.
Right. It's a big problem because they're so new to the market, the U.S. market, that it's a really difficult situation. But I think you'll see them gaining ground. I agree with you, and I've told people that, understand if you're going to get one, you're going to keep on to it, or you're going to lose a lot of money when you go to sell it. They just haven't hit here in the United States. Like, they're not established.
I mean, and only Darnell is doing those YouTube videos. Darnell's a good guy, but he turned me off when he got sponsored by a metal detector dealer.
Yeah,
and he puts his finds in a little circle on top of this guy's advertising.
Mm-hmm.
And, he never did that in the beginning. He knows how to work a coil and move it in all directions to draw the good tone out.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he did that for 3 years of detecting. That impressed me a lot, but then I lost interest after it became a business.
Yeah.
And, like I told you before, I'm not knocking anybody. I know you all have become a green. I noticed you've become green, the All Metal podcast, and I don't mean green as in the environment.
Yeah.
I see you all becoming Garrett green.
Right, Gypsy. Well,
no, Mike.
What's that?
Mike, green. You're turning into a green detectorist.
You mean Garrett?
Yeah, you've done a lot of Garrett podcasts, Garrett people. Garrett people.
Well, there's so many Garrett.
No.
No.
I mean, it's interesting.
It's interesting. I can assure you, how do I say this with Gypsy? I love Gypsy. Gypsy loves her AT Max. She loves her AT Max. She does great. But
she is fine.
We don't have guests on ever. I don't know what they use most of the time. It's what they have. I can assure you, I will talk to any manufacturer. We will have anybody on from any manufacturer and any guest swing and whatever. I don't use Garrett. I mean, I've got an AT Pro. It sits on the wall. I mean, it's one of the last ones I would grab. Nothing against it. Hell, I can't get rid of it because they are good detectors, but we really try hard not to, push anything too much, or and I got talking about the Rudis, and I had a couple people like, okay, we've heard enough about the Rudis. I'm a huge fan of Nocta Macro. And I've, had guys call me out on that and stuff. So I try to not talk anything about one thing too much, but I do. But, yeah, I'm sorry. I didn't know we seem like we're Garrett. That makes me feel bad. We will talk to anybody that hunts with anything or any manufacturer, I promise.
And I may be a field tester for Garrett now, but I've used all brands over the 20 years, all kinds of brands on the market for over 20 years of my detecting, experience. And I'm always, love to try out different machines and compare and everything. For me, right now, since I am a field tester for Garrett, that's what I'm using mostly in my videos, but I have different machines in my garage too that I get out occasionally and stuff like that. So, and then a lot of my friends, use Garrett, and they also use other brands. So,
George is giving us a hard time.
Out there
George likes to give me a hard time. That's what it is. He likes to mess with me. No, I'll say this. I think, and this is, I don't want to upset anybody, and anybody could change it around at any second. But I think Garrett's the only U.S. manufacturer that's still in the game. That's not to say, one of the others couldn't pull something off and come out with something new and great and change it around. But, we really haven't seen much out of Fisher and Technetics. We sure haven't seen, much out of White's. They've really fallen down. And I hope Garrett keeps it current and stuff and going. And, because although I love what's going on over in Europe, you still want to see Garrett make it,
Well, Garrett will make it. There's no worry about that. They have good people. They're good customer service. They've been around forever.
Yeah.
They just need something. They need to come out with something hot pretty soon.
Yeah, I agree.
They need a new design. A new design. Something a little different.
Something innovative, something new. I agree. Now, the AT Pro, though, don't you think that's one of the... I mean, for me, here's what I seen. When I was in Ohio, I'd field hunt when the crops were down. In the summer, I was looking for old silver coins. And if you wanted to find deep old silver coins consistently, you had to have a mine lab. Nothing else was really doing it until the AT Pro come out. I mean, I seen a lot of people take those AT Pros and go out and consistently find deep silver coins at half the price of the mine labs, more than half the price. That's what impressed me so much by them, and that's why I've been impressed with them. I do know some people don't tend to not like them and not give what I feel the respect that the AT Pro was capable of or is capable of. What's your thought on it? Because I don't think you're a big fan of them, are you?
Well, mine, I had an original one. It was a game changer for Garrett.
Yeah.
Now, if you can rate the Deus, you can rate the Mine Lab certainly right up there as the best. The Equinox for what people think. But I really believe their number that machine would be rated number 3. If I had to choose 3 detectors, and then I love the Oryx too. I'll just call that a Deus in a way.
Okay, yeah.
But that detector, if you go anywhere that I've ever been, and I don't know how many people I know, but in Virginia, that's probably, except for the Deus, that the AT Pro is the most popular detector there is.
Right.
Every time I go out with detectors, everybody wants to know, hey, you got any of those machines? Well, no, I don't, but I've used all of them.
Yeah.
And, they're simple to use.
Very simple.
And I don't go in the water anymore, so I wouldn't need a waterproof machine, but I've done very well with the AT Pro. Just mine always broke down. Yeah. Like I had said before, spend more time in the shop.
I remember the first...
this is when I was out hunting a lot,
Yeah. I remember the first ones that came out, there were some issues, coil issues and different things. But, I've got a friend. Here's most of my experience with an AT Pro. Even more so than the time I have on one. I don't have much time on an AT Pro. I respect what they're capable of and stuff. There's just other stuff I would rather use for my own hunting situations. But I met up with a guy through a friend who brand new to the hobby and got an AT Pro. And I was using the CTX at the time, which is debatably one of the best deep silver detectors there are. I mean, I'll debate that. The Mine Lab, the FBS detectors, I will debate with anybody that they're some of the best deep silver coin detectors out there. And so this guy's new with an AT Pro where he's constantly wanting me to go over signals. I'm pulling signals and, running them by him. And George, every time I hunted with him, I was amazed. A deep squeaky coin on the CTX, and he could hear it on his AT Pro. I mean, over and over again, it really impressed me. And that's where most of my respect for not my time on it. I don't have, I mean, it's so simple. You turn it on, I know right how I want to set it up, and I go hunt with it, and I can hunt with it. But what makes me so impressed, like I said, isn't my time on it. It's watching my friend Scott run that detector and see what it was capable of. I mean, at a fraction of the cost, that AT Pro would find 99% of the deep silver coins I was finding with the E-Track and the CTX.
Right. I get bored easily with it. It was too simple.
You know what? Me too.
I get bored. I mean, I do. I get bored with some of these machines because so only so much you can do to set it up.
Right.
And you can only do so much. And after that, well, you're out of luck.
Yeah. I like a detector. I can run it so hot that it gets unstable, and I can decide where I want to run it. And I want to be able to change the tones, and I want to know, that's why the Rudis. I love the Rudis Alder 71. I can really, and you can tweak it for any situation. Well, I don't know about hot soil. The new 2.0,
it was pretty good.
Does it?
Works pretty good to metal.
I think that is one of the there's a lot of stuff overseas I haven't used, but that Rudis Alder 71 impresses me like nothing else. It's just incredible how you can set that up and what you can change and modify to your needs and for your situation. And you got to know what you're doing. I mean, with one, you really do. You got to have a good idea. And it's a tinker, but really you can pull that out of the box and go in the standard mode or the coin mode, and you can be real successful with that detector. And it's really, I talk about it too much. I really do. People, you watch, somebody will more be like, "Oh God, you're talking about the Alder 71 again." But it just, I don't know, it gets the job done for me. Now the 2.0. It has iron volume now, which was a suggestion of mine to Eric. But one problem that people are having, and I don't care, it doesn't bother me. I judge a detector 99% of the time on performance. I can overlook so much if it performs, but when you ground balance now, you're supposed to get like goods or exclamation points, like 3 different tells you you're in worse ground and a question mark. Well, a lot of people are getting exclamation points and question marks, and I did at the beginning too, but what I found, the detector was running smooth, it was running deep. I just overlook it, but that does bother a lot of people, that it won't ground balance. It won't give you a good a thumbs up that you ground balance good. And but it just doesn't bother me. I'm okay. Hey, it's running good. It's running smooth. No issues. Okay, well, I'll just deal with it. And you pull out some deep targets, and it's running fast. It's not, it's not chirping on stuff. It's on junk and everything. I'm okay with it. I'm okay with
it. Yeah. Well, look, I'm going to let you guys go. I've got to put the old false teeth in the drawer now. Time to go to bed.
George, it's always a pleasure to hear from you, buddy. Glad to hear you're
all right, man.
In, George.
Glad to hear you're okay after that wreck.
Thank you, Gypsy. I'm fine, man.
Yeah,
I'm fine. I enjoy listening to you guys. And use anything you like. I mean, that's the joy of it.
Yeah,
every one of them got their own little special place in your heart.
Now, every time
pinups either, please.
Every time I get a guest, now I'm going to be like, "Do you use an AT Pro?" We can't have you on. George done made me feel bad now. Dang it!
That's right. I gave you a guilt complex.
Right.
And then you got to drag poor Gypsy into the damn thing.
Yeah. Sorry, Gypsy, threw you right under the bus.
You sure did, man. Ran over her and then back up over her.
George got me all flustered. Threw you under the bus. George, thanks again, buddy. You call in anytime. We love hearing from you.
All right, we'll see you later.
Thanks,
Good
George.
night.
See you.
Oh, there you go. We had George call in. I like old George. For those that don't know George real good, he's been metal detecting since 1969, and he's used hundreds of detectors. Wow. Very knowledgeable with the stuff going on overseas and all over. I mean, that guy talks about detectors that I've never heard of, and he's really opened me up to some of that stuff. And David said soon we'll have 29 machines. Who knows? Yeah, I'm trying. I'm working on it. I'd be one step closer if Donnie would ever send me my one back. No, I'm kidding. I'm absolutely playing. Once again, if you'd like to call in, if you have any questions, 682-459-2977. Of course, you can jump in chat, ask questions. There was a question earlier. Oh, I remember what it was. What's going on with Tesoro? Real quick, I've heard rumor after rumor after rumor. The latest rumor I just read today in one of the groups, I don't know which one, supposedly, I think it said one of the manufacturer's engineers bought all of Tesoro's stock, and there's a possibility he's going to open it back up. I have no clue. I hate to say and speculate. I think they're just done. I hope this guy opens a back. You know what? Like, I think if somebody, Tesoro, love them, but they kind of put themselves out of business. I think that I firmly believe there is still a market for relic hunters. You don't have to have a screen, but you need more than one tone, and that kind of thing. And I think Tesoro's sticking with the one tone. Heck, back in their past, they had 2-tone and 3-tone detectors. Why did they drop it down to one tone? No iron volume or anything. But I think if somebody bought Tesoro, modified them, which would be I'm sure very easy, and made a 2-tone, a 3-tone, and iron volume, I think they could be back in business. And I think Tesoro could have kept going if they would have done that. I'm trying to see. We just took another caller. Who do we have on?
Hi, my name is Brian.
What are you doing, Brian?
Standing here.
She said standing here. We haven't talked in a while, buddy. How you been? Did you get that detector yet?
No, next weekend.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool.
That's why I'm calling in. I'm late to the party. Get thoughts on Equinox from you, because you don't lie to people. So what's up? What do you think about it?
Man, you will find so few people who don't just love that detector. I think you're going to like it. The biggest complaints I've heard is the quality of the build. I've not heard anything about the electronics. That's why that $50 carbon fiber shaft is so popular. Makes it a little sturdy. What's that?
That makes sense. I didn't know it was only $50. I haven't had a detector now for a year.
Yeah. Yeah. But no, I think Matt, our co-host Tuesday night, he's not a big fan of it, but him and I have just recently talked about it, and he's going to keep giving it a try. Now that guy has E-Track, CTX. I mean, he's got like 15 detectors, and he's very good with the CTX and stuff, and he likes the ORX a lot. He's using that in the fields and stuff, but what's making Matt realize he needs more time on it is his friend got one at the same time and loves it, and is going back to spots they've pounded and finding stuff with the 800 or with the Equinox. So and everybody else we've talked to or I've talked to would love it. So I think you'll love it.
I hope so.
Yeah.
I hope it's enough to get me back into it. Like I said, I took a year off, so.
Right. I know you did. Yeah. Are you excited? You're kind of crazy for buying it as we're starting to get so hot here in Texas.
You know what I do for a living?
Yeah, I know. I forget that sometimes. It's like a.
What do you do,
Close to hot.
Brian?
What's that?
What do you do, Brian?
I fix air conditioning. I was on a rooftop today. The sun coming off the roof.
Goodness.
37 degrees.
Yeah. This fat guy would just
gosh.
die. Just die. Keel over.
Well, I can also always try water hunting. I've always talked about doing that. I just never done it.
Oh, that's
Never
so
once.
fun.
Do you know where there's
Gotta
any
try
sand?
it.
AC, I'm trying to type. Scott was asking if you're a roofer. Is there any beaches up around you with sand?
No, the closest thing's going to be, there's a couple swimming spots on Lake Bardwell, which is south of me. There's a public swimming place in a campground that's off of Lake Joe Pool that's not part of, one of the rare areas that's not part of the state park that you can get into and metal detect that beach. That water, the buoy stop at about, for me and you, would probably be about chest high. And they get a lot of people out there that drop a lot of jewelry. And the reason I say it's not a state park is because if you go to the state park, you got to pay $20 to get in, I think, per person in the summertime, or 15, something right around there.
Oh,
so
wow.
There are
nice.
Where do you live, Brian?
I live in Texas.
He lives just north of me.
Oh, you
what,
do?
about
Okay.
20 minutes away?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I live in the only state that exists. There's Texas, and then there's the rest of the world.
Right. Yeah, that's how them Texans are. Jeez. Man, I'd love to go do this. I'm pretty much done. There's done for the year.
By you, and
What?
I got a couple guys who are out east. It'd be a little drive for me and you, like 45 minutes or something, but they got tons of water spots they're always inviting me to. I think
No kidding.
between the two of them, they found 26 rings last year, some
wow.
silver, some gold. So, I mean, I know of spots that I could definitely get us to that aren't around here.
Yeah, I'm down if you want to do some water. Well, the problem is Steph is always off through the week. She's not off on the weekends. So the only time, that's where we run into issues. She works weekends.
And you just tell me the day you want to go. I'll put a vacation day in, and I won't go to work.
There you go. I'm all down. I'm down with that.
We'll get Charles, too. Get his
Yeah.
old butt out.
Yeah, he lives right down the road from me, and I haven't hunted with him since the three of us got together.
He hasn't hunted much either. Now, I'll have to tell you later, but with his new job, he does have insight on places.
Really?
I don't know if he talked to you.
No, I don't talk to him much. I follow him, and we like each other's stuff and stuff. A great guy. I really like him. So,
No, we'll have to talk because his new job, he gets insight on stuff.
Oh, nice.
And then we also got to remember he's got his aunt's place where the army camp was at Overlook Cleburne.
Right.
That's
Right. I would love to.
We haven't got out there yet.
I'd love to try that place for sure.
So it's just got to get a detector. I traded my detector for a guitar because it was more interesting. But
Yeah, Texas is tough, man. We live in a tough area.
Mm-hmm.
We do, as in down here.
Yeah.
But if you go north and east, it gets way better.
Yeah.
Like if you go up to Denton, there's areas of Denton where the newest house would be like 1920.
Right. Well, there's some old stuff here too. It's just I'm weird about knocking on doors, and then I don't speak Spanish, and
Cleburne's tough because of the language barrier in that neighborhood. Like by that what was that place? The Art Center or whatever that we dug that one time.
yeah.
That's a whole language barrier area right there.
Right, where all the old stuff is. Yeah,
But
absolutely.
I got some. Since I've had a time off, I got some spots. I got some people who kind of helped me. It's going to be, it's not going to just be here locally. It's going to be some driving, but I'm sure you've driven for good stuff before. That's
Oh
what I
yeah,
do think.
yeah. I can. I'm her days off. I can get away for the day and stuff. So it's getting so hot. I mean, I'm gonna try to get out this week, but then I'm probably done. Like on land. If we can find somewhere, if we can find a good beach or something, I'm cool with that. But other than that, man, I can't. I just can't handle it. I'm from Ohio.
I could come up with a beach because that beach where you hunted down by you's pretty much been hammered by everybody and their cousin.
Well, and it's gravel. It's
Trashy.
not sand. It is so hard to. You can't hardly dig in that. You dig in that for a half an hour to an hour, and I'm spent. It's big gravel. Real hard to hunt.
I got some sand spots. I got a guy who I've been playing phone tag with who has on his land in Weatherford, which is west, has a swimming hole that's been used by people according to the land records that he's found since like 1805 or something.
Wow.
And as far as he knows, nobody's ever done anything in or around it.
Ooh. Yeah, that'd be a good
I know
place.
I've been in the water, and it's just a sand bottom. Just that silty stuff. So
Oh, wow.
I know you exist. I've just been busy not detecting. But if I find cool stuff, I'll give you a text.
Yeah, let me know. Let's get together. Heck, even if we just go hang out, I'd like to see you, man. It's been a long time.
And I'll even bring Faith.
Yeah, I'd love to see. I was just getting ready to ask, how's she doing?
She's good. She's been on me about getting out metal detecting. I sent you a text message. I made a magazine cover with you on it.
I seen it, man. That's funny.
But you're dressed.
Yeah, that's
I don't think
fun.
the world can handle your business.
No, it would do some damage. It would definitely cause.
So I figured I'd just call in and basically say what's up.
Yeah, glad to hear from you. I was looking. What's that lake west of me? That's got a nice sandy beach. I keep wanting to go back over there. I can't remember.
Do you know the city? Oh, like they're down there, like in Glenrose? That's south of you. I don't know. There's a lake, there's lots of lakes. I don't know exactly what you're talking about.
I don't know what I'm talking about either. I know how to get there. That's it. I can't. I know the name of the city. I'm not seeing it on my. I'm looking at the Granbury. Granbury's got a beautiful sand beach.
Oh, and there's tons of stuff in Granbury because Michael Livery lives in Glenrose, and he's told me a bunch of spots that have had. He's hunted, and he needs help hunting them. Where there's been a couple spots, according to the historic documents that he found, that's had stagecoach robberies where he's found bullet-riddled hills, like where they would have a gunfight.
Oh, how's he doing? I haven't heard from Michael in a while.
He quit Facebook. So unless you got like a phone number or something, he's kind of squirrely to get a hold of.
I gotcha. I'm gonna look him up now. I don't know if he's in my new phone. I got a new phone.
I heard he was getting his butt. He was getting his butt whooped by the what the hell did he just get? He got it off of you. What was it?
Oh, the E-Track.
Yeah, he was still kind of getting whipped around by the E-Track.
I need to get. I've told him like we were going to hook up a couple different times, and like he couldn't make it or I couldn't. Like Steph had to go into work one day and stuff. I could show him so much in such a little time on that.
It's going to be easier now because you haven't talked to him, but the yard that he was driving for closed. So now he doesn't work overnight. He's got a real job. He's building pumps in Fort Worth. So he's available more than he was before.
Good deal. Yeah, I just texted him while we're talking. I just said, "Hey, it's been a while. How you been?"
Yeah, you've missed a lot. Charles works for the city of Cleburne now.
Oh, no kidding.
So he's got an in on places when they demolish them.
I'll have to. If I drive around, I'll look for him. If I see him out working, I'll have to go by and throw a peanut at him or something.
Because he's
throw him a cold beer this summer. He'd like that, I bet.
I even forgot you had this podcast.
Oh man, come on!
I left every group except for mine.
Yeah, I seen you. I knew you did, man. I knew.
I recently just started getting back in other groups because, you know the history with certain people.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I've been just laying low and doing my group, and that's about it.
Yeah, I understand.
So,
It's glad.
All right,
I'm glad to hear from you, though, and
I'll
keep
get
in
off the
touch.
phone so important people can call.
Yeah, we're done. We're going to call it a night after you, unless somebody else wants to call in real quick. But thanks for calling in, Brian.
You take it easy, brother.
Yeah, you too, man. We'll talk to you soon.
All right.
Night, Brian.
That was nice to hear from him. I knew he kind of got burned out and got out of it, and glad to hear him coming back into it. That's nice. Him and I hunted together some. Nice guy. Brian's a good dude. I'm going to put it out there one more time, and if anybody wants to call in, or if you if you got questions for us, let's be getting to it, because we're about ready to wrap it up. 682-459-2977. Again, that's 682-459-2977. I can't believe nobody's called and asked you a question, Gypsy. What the heck? What the heck? Where's everybody at? We'll wait here a minute. And what, you got anything going on this week?
Me, I need to do some editing some videos, but I really want to go do some more river hunting.
Yeah, it's time. It's that time of year to get in the water.
Yeah, with the heat the way it is, I don't really want to get out to any of my spots unless it's late in the evening or early in the morning, and then that doesn't leave you much time to hunt. So I'm going to be river hunting and water hunting as much as I can.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, Wayne reminded me, Lions Camp. I will be going to the Lions Camp. I think what's the date? Let's see, my cat's about to walk over the computer here. Let me see real quick.
What's the Lions Camp?
Here it is. Okay, the Lions Camp is where they, it's going to be over in Kerrville, and I know that Keith Wills heads that up usually every year, and they donate some metal detectors and prizes and a lot of foreign coins for handicapped kids. A lot of them are in wheelchairs, and some of them are, have other disabilities. And so basically we show them how to metal detect and use a metal detector and really gets them out there and having fun. And the Lions Camp has been doing it, Wayne said 33 years. So long time.
Huh.
We do some great things.
That's
so I'm going to
awesome.
head out there. Kerrville's real close to me, so I'm going to head out there and help out with that. And I was looking at the date.
When's that?
It's going to be Wednesday, 8 a.m. It starts. I don't know how long it'll last, probably till, noon or something. And then Thursday till 2 p.m. That's next week.
Oh, cool. Very cool. Very cool. Okay,
That'll
well,
be
nobody
fun.
else
It'll be
called
fun.
in, and I think it's time to get off here. And Steph and the kids are back in. I'm going to go spend some time with them.
All right. It was a fun night. I enjoyed our phone calls.
Me too. I did too.
It's nice to be able to have people call in again.
Mm-hmm. I know, right? I missed that. Real quick before we go, on Facebook, We Dig the Civil War Headquarters. I love that group. Zero Discrimination on Facebook and our Facebook group, and she's also on YouTube. Girls Rock Metal Detecting, same thing. Ohio Relic Hunting on Facebook, and Dirt Pirates Detecting on Facebook. There, I'm done. Just done. Okay, good night, everybody. Thanks for tuning in and putting up with Gypsy's crap. I know she gets crazy and stuff, talking about centerfolds and fat guys and stuff like that, but we still love her and keep her around, so yeah. All right, good night, everybody. Good night, Gypsy.
Good night.
All right,
Y'all
bye.
have a good night.